Almost every day begins with an exact, unrelenting number. An alarm pulls you out of sleep at precisely 7 a.m. From there, your morning is broken down into rigid factions. You heat a frozen bagel for exactly 50 seconds. You brush your teeth until an electric toothbrush beeps at the 3-minute mark. This grid dictates everything. You catch the 7:40 train, you exercise until a treadmill tells you 30 minutes have passed, and you sit down for your favorite show only to be interrupted by commercials measured out to the exact second. Even your psychological care is boxed into a standardized 50-minute therapy hour. Today, you actually have to make a conscious, concerted effort to avoid knowing what time it is. We treat this as the natural order of things, but it is an entirely artificial cage. For over 1 million years, human beings could not tell you the exact time, nor did they care to. Traditional agricultural life was completely dictated by organic cycles. Routines shifted drastically depending on the sunlight, the season, and the approaching rains. A bustling medieval town might have had a single, notoriously inaccurate clock mounted on a tower, and nobody minded. So how did we abandon the sun and the seasons to become completely subservient to a stopwatch? In a traditional medieval workshop, a single shoemaker crafted an entire shoe from sole to buckle. If that artisan overslept and came in late, he only delayed his own output. The rest of the town kept working. The Industrial Revolution broke that independence. In a modern footwear factory, every worker mans a specific machine to produce just one small piece of a shoe before passing it down the line. Because of this new dependency, if the person operating machine number 5 is 10 minutes late, they stall machine 6, machine 7, and eventually the entire operation. The timetable wasn't invented to make individuals more efficient. It was deployed as a strict fail-safe to keep industrial assembly lines from collapsing entirely. Very quickly, the factory schedule bled into the surrounding society. If the local mill ended its shift at exactly 5 p.m., the nearby pub needed to be open and pouring pints by 5:02. Schools, hospitals, and grocery stores quickly adopted these rigid frames. Public transportation became the heavy machinery linking these hubs. If the factory gate closed at 8 a.m., the incoming train had to hit the platform at 7:55. A 3-minute delay meant thousands in lost production. Look at this map of 19th century Britain. Geography presented a massive problem. Towns still operated on local, sun-based hours. When it was exactly noon in London, the sun made it 12:20 in Liverpool and 11:50 in Canterbury. When commercial train services launched in 1830, this quirky local difference became a disaster. You cannot run a synchronized rail network when destinations disagree on time. The speed of new technology presented an ultimatum. Society had to overwrite local, organic reality with a single artificial standard, or the industrial machine would fail. In 1847, British rail companies solved their routing nightmare by agreeing to calibrate all timetables to a single point, the Greenwich Observatory. Other institutions followed the money. By 1880, the British government took the extraordinary step of legally mandating that all timetables follow Greenwich. An entire population was ordered to abandon the natural sunrise. Mass media then became the ultimate enforcer. Radio stations blasted synchronized time signals, hourly beeps, so far-flung settlements and ships at sea could align their clocks to the master grid. During the Second World War, the BBC broadcast the live tolling of Big Ben into Nazi-occupied Europe. German physicists used the broadcast as an intelligence tool. By analyzing tiny differences in the tone of the bells, they could determine the exact weather conditions in London to assist the Luftwaffe. Through strict logistical necessity, through new legal mandates, and daily radio evangelism, the timetable grew from a simple factory tool into an invisible, global authority. We easily recognize the obvious products of the Industrial Revolution, sprawling cities and mass democracy, but it also engineered a consequence that dwarfs the rise of the industrial proletariat. For over 1 million years, human beings survived through intimacy. Small communities of kin were the absolute building blocks of society, providing everything from food to healthcare. Adopting artificial time broke these communities into atoms. Because machines required individuals to arrive and leave simultaneously, the organic family became a liability. To fill this vacuum, the state and market took over, absorbing the care and survival functions once provided by tribes. The act of checking a watch represents a daily submission to the mechanism that replaced the human tribe with the state and the market.